Hi everybody, it's me, Ghost Critic. I'm back again this week. Yippee. A huge stack of comics to get through. Well, huge for me. So let's crack on. Let's not waste any time. We'll start with Astonishing XMen number 40. And I do wish they'd stop going backwards and forwards between two separate storylines. Purely for the fact because this story arc, the Meanwhile story arc, is so much better than Monstrous. It just is. The idea that that Christos Gage has got going on with the whole brood evolution, they're no longer these just fighting, dominating creatures, it's just a great evolution of their storyline. It's very cleverly done. The artwork by Juan Babillo? Takes some getting used to, but once you get into it, you notice his use of panelling, how exciting and dynamic he makes every page look. And I think this adds to, personally, my enjoyment of this title, and definitely the side of this kind of one issue of one story arc and one issue of the other, the way this is going. So, if you're enjoying Astonishing XMen, definitely pick up this one for the Meanwhile title. And next, Uncanny XForce, issue 12. Yes, it's issue 12. And we are still firmly ensconced in the world of Age of Apocalypse. And it's just so much fun being back here. It really is. What you start reading it, and there's a huge kind of scene. Most of the start of it is with Logan and Jeannie, and obviously those two, despite them coming from different kind of universes, there is still the age-old attraction between the two of them. It is all very character-driven, very cleverly written by Remender, which it doesn't slow anything down whatsoever. It's needed, it's required. I love it. And then they go off running to find off these life seeds and rescue gateways so our guys can go back to their universe. There's a fantastic wow moment when you get to meet the Black Legion, the baddies of the piece, and you see some familiar, not so familiar characterizations of heroes and villains that I don't think we really saw in the Age of Apocalypse. These are for predominantly new guys, but the spread across 2 pages is just nice. And of course, and I won't spoil it, though given the start of it I don't think anyone didn't see this coming, the last page reveal and an appearance of somebody that had to turn up. Come on. Excellent. If you are not picking up Uncanny X-Force, what is wrong with you? Another title, Zombie issue 5, and this is such an exceptional series. I cannot believe DC have not got this in their 52 reboot. I am so disappointed. I am pleading with DC to, you know, either get him in there in those 52 or a little bit later when all the dust is settled, or at least put him on the JL Dark team, Justice League Dark. He would pretty much fit in nice there. You know, he's got the whole supernatural vibe, storyline type of thing going. He could fit in there quite easily, I think. But God, I'm going to miss this. It's just beautiful to look at. The story is gripping. I presume next issue is the last one, and this is going to make a very nice trade paperback or hardcover, whichever comes out first. If you've not picked this up, wait for the trade, read it all in one go because you won't be able to stop, and just feast upon the gorgeous art of Fraser Irving, because it is, every page I look at and I'm just like, wow, excellent. Not so excellent. Batman The Dark Knight, and I believe we're on issue 4. It's all exposition. It is all just jag, tell me a story. I mean, it begins with the girl from last issue somehow broke into Batman's Batmobile. But nothing seems to go there with it. We don't know how she broke in there. She don't know why she wanted to break in there. And then we get her father being given the heavy treatment by some thugs. No explanation as to why. And then it's just left. Then we get exposition over exposition about Dawn's story, her life and the cult and all that, for page after page. Then we get this just awful plot device thrown in of Jim Gordon being framed, which makes no sense whatsoever. That storyline really hasn't, you know, developed, and obviously it's issue 4 and it's probably the last one, next issue. It's never going to. It just seemed a pointless issue, and I was so looking forward to this series being just phenomenal. The artwork still nice, you know, it's still nice to look at, but it doesn't work if you've not got a decent story to back it up. I'm sure it's all going to kick off in the last issue and we're going to get lots of action and everything's going to get wrapped up very nicely. But if you're interested, I wouldn't be. Don't bother. What you should pick up, oh, so excited about this. The Amazing Spider-Man issue 666. And I swear Dan Slott must be the devil, because he just has the magic Spidey touch. Dan Slott, I salute you. This is such an awesome, nice prelude issue to Spider Island. It has everything a Spider-Man issue should have in it. It's funny, it's got action in it, it's kind of got a sense of foreboding. Everything seems to be going right, but you know this is Spider-Man, it's Peter Parker. Nothing ever stays good for him. There's lots of nice menacing bits with the Jackal and his messing around with, you know, this spider powers. You've got a secret villain that we've not seen who's pulling the strings. And there's some... The art by Caselli is great, it really is. Obviously, I can't wait for Ramos. Ramos just draws Spider-Man so well, and he's just such a great fit for Spider-Man that next issue is... This was great. I'm sure the next issue is just going to blow my socks off. Come on, you need to buy this. Get on board Spider Island. I'm only going to get the main title. I'm not going to bother with the all the offshoots from them because there are far too many, but I'm sure Dan Slott will make sure that this title alone will be worth the cover price. What isn't worth the cover price, and it's a quid cheaper, is Green Arrow. It's issue 14 and I'm so bored already with this storyline. Convenient pop device Batman just happened to be passing, happened to have this case full of specially equipped arrows that are going to be used to defeat all these mechanised villains that are on the verge and are on the horizon to fight Green Arrow, because no, he was never going to have a chance with just his trick bow and arrows. They were never going to work. So how could they possibly have Green Arrow win this fight and come off pretty well by the end of this series? And hey ho, like I said, Batman sweeps in. It was insulting, it really was. I won't be picking this up in the reboot to put me off. What is another good title? There's lots of ups and downs this week. Fables issue 107. Now, anyone who knows me knows I love my Fables. It is one of the best comics out there, and I don't think it gets the full attention it truly deserves. I mean, this is just a one-shot story, and this is the great thing about Willingham, is that he can do these overreaching arcs that go on for issue and issue, and you are hooked from start to finish, and he throws in so much, he invests so much into it, but at the same time he can do an issue with a story in it in one and leave you gasping for more. What almost pips the storyline on this is Terry Moore's artwork. I mean, the two of them together, I will gush here. It is pure magic. It really is. They both, Willingham and Moore, were made to be writing this title together. I can't believe he's only just a guest artist. Willingham really needs to keep hold of Terry Moore and just give him story arc after story arc. Fantastic. Issue 2 of The Search for Swamp Thing. Not really got a lot to say about this, to be fair. I didn't buy the whole John Constantine Superman team up. It didn't really work. Yes, it worked in the sense that John kind of used Superman for his own ends, always trying to play the game a step ahead of everyone else, if not 2 or 3. There was a interesting, I don't want to call it a twist, but I'll use that word anyway. I have a twist for what Swamp Thing is really after and why. And then there's a little bit of a backstory with actual Alec Holland going back to his original lab out in the swamp, and who he finds there. It's always them. And if you've read it, you'll know who I mean. And finally, yes, finally, sorry to keep you folks, it's Justice Society of America, and it's issue 53, and this is continuing the underground city under Monument Point. The artwork is so much better. It's kind of got the whole retro feel, but anything was going to be better than the last few, so I'm happy that the artist has changed. We now have, who is it? It's Jerry Ordway. So thank you, Jerry Ordway, for coming on for the last couple of issues before this goes. Again, it's another kind of exposition-y type tale. The history of this underground city, why it's there, and why is it always these kind of storylines where it's kind of like the good guys do the bad guys' work for them? It's always the good guys that, you know, set free stuff, set chaos onto the world, and this was the only negative point or confusing point that happened within this, and it's to do with Jessie Quick. Again, I won't spoil it, but she did something which caused something, and there was just no explanation behind it. There was no reason why she did what she did, and again it just seemed like a cheap plot device to get the story going and to wrap it all up for next issue, when we can all restart and we won't see Justice Society of America anyway. They're not in the 52. That is me done for the week. A lot of good comics, couple of but still an entertaining evening last night. What did you guys buy? What did you think of the titles I had? Did you pick up any of them? Did you agree with me? Comment down below, give it a thumbs up. People give me thumbs down. That's how you feel. If you're not already subscribed and this is your first time, then the button's up there. And also, if you want to, go and follow me on Twitter. Same ID, it's Ghost Critic over there. I know quite a few of you already are, but you know, you might have forgotten. See you guys, have a good weekend, and have some great comic book reading.